Many of you have been requesting it for over a year, and as a thank you for my subscriber milestone, I welcome you to the Columbus Zoo's Heart of Africa. What I consider to be the first epic adventure on zoo tours. I'll be taking you to the outskirts of Mudiwa, a fictional town meant to replicate a lively, colorful East African village located on the edge of the savannah. What was originally slated to be a golf course. Initial planning to develop this space occurred back in 1996. $30 million spent, and 18 years later, the zoo can now say they can take you from Ohio and transport you to another world. Representing this part of Africa are around 130 animals from over 20 recognizable, or should I say iconic symbols of the savannah. With the behind-the-scenes areas included, the Heart of Africa encompasses over 20 acres of the zoo's already impressive 580. That's bigger than the overall size of many zoos around the world. Thanks to the design team's ability to create such an illusion with its marketplace, its invisible barriers, and creative interactive features, this region emulates the sights, sounds, and spirit of an authentic African adventure. And it's my job to make you feel that now. Under the arch we go and into the village, and as overwhelming as the attraction is, it begins just about as modest as a petting zoo. Almost, actually, even the animals aren't considered wild. The first exhibit contains the dromedary camel, a one-humped ungulate that once roamed North Africa to the Middle East before it was domesticated nearly 2,000 years ago. Ironically, only feral dromedaries can be found wandering Australia. The second exhibit shows you why they were domesticated in the first place. Dromedaries store fat in their humps, and when food and water is scarce, they can lose up to 40% of their body weight, allowing their temperature to rise in hot conditions, which reduces sweating to conserve its moisture, showing that they can still be an efficient mode of transportation in the real world. The rest of the first pathway is defined by its market area, where fair trade products from East Africa are offered for sale. Animals-wise, it doesn't offer much as a way to build anticipation, and it's not paid off until you reach the entrance of the Ajabu National Park. The first jaw-dropping gaze at the grassland savanna, as you count the herds in the distance and occasionally catch movement in the brush. But we're here to focus on what's in front, where the mentioned illusions play with your mind. The first wild animals we encounter is the king of the savannah, living in the fourth biggest lion habitat in the US. You can see them from 4 separate locations. The furthest left is in the green award-winning Mopari restaurant, where their habitat touches the building so you can dine with the lions. There's the middle area that makes them blend in the same space with their prey. To the right is the demonstration area under the National Park's entrance, and everyone's favorite, the 1956 Beech Model 18 aircraft, grounded between their space and ours. The plane is 34 feet long and has a wingspan of 48 feet. The right one is air-conditioned, attracting the lions towards your unforgettable nose-to-nose experience and a photographer's dream. The best part though is the interior is accessible for children, which actually places them inside of the habitat, possibly making this the most creative way you'll ever view a lion at a zoo. I've previously stated this before and never explained why, but this is what makes the Heart of Africa a very Disney-like attraction. The national park continues with a show. This is the half-acre watering hole, also known as the lower level of the savannah, again making it seem like the animals above can come and look over the wall at any time, though the two habitats can connect at a certain point. So what exactly permanently lives in here? Well, nothing. This is the Heart of Africa's only rotational habitat. The lineup has slightly changed over the years, but from my 5 annual visits, I saw a flock of lesser flamingos, a warthog. On my last trip, I was lucky enough to catch the aardvark presentation, where keepers will walk out with them, feed them, and educate the public about the burrowing, nocturnal, termite hunting creature known as the ant bear. At the end of the day, I was also able to catch the black-backed jackal, the rarest animal in the Heart of Africa, but arguably the most overlooked by general guests. Sirius, Padfoot, and Lupin arrived at the zoo in 2018, and just so you know, so you don't overlook them as nothing as well, the Columbus Zoo is only one of 5, give or take, institutions in the US that displays this jackal. But we're still not done with the animal list. The ones that occupy the watering hole the most is my personal favorite. The spotted hyena. Africa's most common large carnivore. Occasionally, I'll annoyingly ask my friends, what's a hyena? A dog or a cat? Although they superficially resemble a dog, they are in fact more closely related to genets, civets, and cats. So technically they're neither and are part of their own genetic family. Their grooming, scent marking, mating, and parental behaviors resembles that of a feline, but their hunting methods, playful manner, pack lifestyle, and their lack of hatred for water resembles that of a dog. Like the aardvark, they too are mostly nocturnal and build dens for shelter, with the exception of the spotted hyena that only builds dens for their cubs. The watering hole is a haven for females Bonsai and Shenzi, and I'll let you decide where the zoo got those names. But we're still not finished here. This crowd on the boardwalk didn't form just because they have to eventually pass this exhibit. They came for this. I called the watering hole a show for a reason. It's a stage for the cheetah run, renowned as the world's fastest terrestrial animal. The cheetah can accelerate from 0 to 65 miles per hour for approximately 10 seconds before it begins to overheat. If its prey can stay ahead for longer than this, it will most likely escape. According to the numbers, that survival rate is 50%, which is actually excellent for the cheetah compared to most other predators' success rates. At the zoo, when the demonstrations are over and the cats have caught their toy, they'll walk around the edge of the habitat as a way to show off their prize. While cheetahs are known as the famous sprinters of the animal kingdom, they spend most of their day lounging in the shade and conserve what little energy they have. So they can do that in their own habitat directly across from the watering hole. It's pretty small, and despite that fact, it's still able to help with the feel of the wild, with the holding area being disguised as the Lowry Markers Cheetah Conservation Fund that's located in Namibia. The path continues to the dry woodlands, as it takes you to the smallest habitat of the Heart of Africa, but it's so active your head won't stay still for more than 5 seconds. This is the Vervet Campsite, home to a troop of vervet monkeys, the raccoons of Africa. Might be an opinion over fact, but what is true is just like the hyena for carnivores, the vervet monkey is the most widespread monkey in Africa. Though the zoo's group doesn't touch these numbers, they can live in a troop between 10 to even 50 individuals. As the name says, this is a campsite. More specifically, one that belongs to the world-famous Jack Hanna, something that's meant to resemble a specific scene from his travels where monkeys raided his tent. When this is unattended, his belongings like a bench, a hammock, and tables become a playground and a perfect setup to represent the mischievous and curious behavior of the vervet monkey. Unfortunately, the National Parks Trail can only take you so far. As we come to an end, the best is saved for last. The masterpiece of the region, of the entire zoo. The 10 acres that actually brings that piece of the savannah into central Ohio. It takes up 50% of the heart of Africa, providing the largest area in the whole park for herds to graze and interact. It is the most immersive zoo enclosure in the entire state. Other than the boardwalk you stand on, it is impossible to find any other barriers in the distance. If it weren't for these rolling man-made hills, you would be able to see a neighborhood that's only 500 feet from the nearest fence, which also happens to be the same distance the animals can create between themselves and where you stand. But some put themselves over our barriers. The most notable animal of the savannah, the tallest land animal in the world, and what the Okapi are the last surviving representatives of a once highly diverse family. The zoo is home to 2 subspecies, the Maasai, distinguishable by their dark, messy patterns. They're also the taller of the 9 subspecies, reaching up to heights of 19.5 feet. Then there's the reticulated, the most common giraffe in zoos. They're recognized by their large, sharp-edged chestnut patches separated by fine white lines. For the most part, giraffe males are 3 feet taller than their counterparts as a way for them to avoid critical disputes. There are the monkeys, but the giraffe is the heart of Africa's most interactive animal. During specific times, you can go on a specially designed boardwalk that gets you even further into the savannah and get an unrestricted, eye-to-eye encounter with an animal that's generally 13 feet taller than you. Out beyond our access, we're not the only animals they get company from. The savannah is home to 11 other animals, like the greater kudu, the antelope with the largest horns, the common wildebeest, an animal that migrates in millions. There's the diligent Grant zebra, the smallest of the 7 plain subspecies, and hidden in the grass, slender-horned Thompsons and Dama gazelles. And then there's the birds, the ostrich, the largest of their kind, the Royal East African Gray-crowned crane, and finally, the noticeably smallest in the savannah, the helmeted guinea fowl. Together, in perfect harmony with all its living things on the endless plains. The Heart of Africa was designed with several goals in mind: to bring a near true African experience to Central Ohio, to create a fun and inspiring environment for all ages, and to develop a region of the zoo that exceeds current standards and trends for animal care. Along with 4 other certifications, the Columbus Zoo's Heart of Africa was acknowledged with the Top Honors Award for Excellence in Design by the AZA, the second time they earned this achievement. Through many years in the making, through its thematic elements and naturally blended vistas, the Heart of Africa features a cutting-edge dynamic design that the zoo says is guaranteed to make you feel the spirit and soul of the African plains. Without a doubt, this is within the top 10 greatest exhibits ever made in any zoo history. As we say goodbye to the Columbus Zoo's most substantial project to date, for the first time I want you to comment below what zoos or aquariums you'd like to see get featured. Go down to the description and read the rules on how you can vote. I'm Zach Handel, your guide. As always, Asante Sana Kwa Kutazama.